A lichtelijke Chanukah and a vredige Chanukah, and should be a beautiful, healthy Chanukah. And today's topic is based on the Minister of Health, Harav Litzman in Eretz Yisrael. So he sent out a message, and this has been basically his something that I don't think should be a surprise, that there's a big focus in Eretz Yisrael on the health of the kids. So he said, Shaila, exactly what he said. A kid came over to me on Shabbos and said that he heard that the Minister of Health said, Rav Litzman said, that you're not allowed to eat donuts. You shouldn't eat donuts on the 8 days of Hanukkah. So the statement wasn't exactly you're not allowed to eat. It's that you shouldn't overdo it. And lich'ere, it's exactly what I would suggest. Meaning to say the following. Shai, the first thought is a bichlal achiv to eat sufganiyot. He was speaking specifically about the sufganiyot in Eretz Yisrael. When I was growing up, it wasn't the way it is today with the million types of donuts. First of all, it went from sufganiyot to donuts. So let's go first lahalacha. Is there bichlal an inyan? Is there something that we have to be so makpid about that we have to even speak about the sufganiyot? And the answer is absolutely yes. It's interesting and quite striking. Today's daf yomi was a shaila of what should you feed the animal. So the Gemara says karshinim, which is according to the Rambam's translation, is the healthiest food you should feed your animal while he's plowing. So this is the Rambam. So interestingly enough, one of the earliest sources about eating sufganiyot and how a person should be very careful not to belittle this minhag is Maimon, Rav Maimon ben Yosef, the Rambam's father. So quite interesting because of course the Rambam himself wrote afterwards an incredible diet of how careful a person has to be of what he eats. Maybe perhaps it was because too much sufganiyot in the home. I don't know. What I do know is the following, is that Rav Maimon, the Rambam's father, said, and he was discussing something obviously similar. He called it something like al-sepinj. Al-sepinj was a type of food which is described as very oily, fried in a lot of oil. That's really the ikar minhag. Today it's a lot more of the custard and all the other scary things inside. They're the pnimius inside of the donut. But the ikar really was fried in oil. Why? Because first of all, there was an Indian here to remember tzapichis bidvash, connected to the mun. The mun utaka was a school of a parnasa. And I saw a certain makubal that I'm mekushel to, he sends WhatsApp. So he said, Avadei, during the 8 days of Chanukah, a person should put health aside. And he says, and the Indian it's a tremendous school of a parnasa. And Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, Zichrono Livracha, was makbid. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach was makbid in the Sufganiyah. And not only that, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach had another chap. He said that the ikar is to have the sufganiyah outside of the meal, not in the meal. Why? Because he held that since when you eat a sufganiyah in the meal, you can't really make alamichya. And in alamichya is where a person davens al mizbechecha, that we should have the mizbeach again. And the ikar focuses to daven, Rebbeinu, we want the mizbeach again. Ad kedei kach, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach in the Halicha Shlema, they write that because one of the things they couldn't fix was the avnei mizbeach, shiktzum, the avanim, defiled it, and it was one of the things that we were mitzvah that we couldn't fix. Everything else we were able to fix and purify. So therefore there's a big Indian to eat a sufganiyah 100%. Besides that, it's minhag Yisrael. Of course you can't be mezalzel in the minhag, but it happens to be something that's very much established. Now, this is my suggestions. Of course, here's a good shaila. If a person is going to eat, but he's going to overeat, he's going to eat too many donuts, is it better not to eat anything if you know you're going to overeat? Or still to eat because you're going to get the Indian and the mitzvah and the minhag and the segula? So I think the answer is based on the Rav Maimon's son, the Rambam. The Rambam guarantees if a person eats the worst thing in the worst food, but he doesn't overeat, he's going to be okay. And therefore I suggest the following: 100% try to keep the minhag, so long as you don't think you're going to overeat too much. If you're going to overeet too much, I feel a halacha, and it's based on Simon Kufain. You could be me'ayin in the Eliyahu Rabbah and Achonim that speak, it's mamish dangerous. And it's dangerous and it happens an Isser. It's a whole different topic for not for today, but the ikar yisoid is that every donut doesn't have to be consumed entirely by the person himself. Meaning to say, you could take one donut and take an eighth. An eighth, this way you have a zecha to one of the answers of the Beis Yosef's Kasha. What do they do with the oil? They divided the oil into 8 eighths. So each time, take a donut, take 1/8, and put away the other 7 eighths for the rest of the days, or share the other 7 eighths with someone else. Have a shomer that you're going to tell you only ate 1/8 of the donut. I'm willing to be the shomer. And this way you'll be mekayim the mitzvah fakert. You'll be more mechaven. You'll be more focused. You'll be more l'shem shamayim. And this way you have the school of the parnasa, and you will have the kiyum minhag, and you have all the sgulas that are supposed to be in this oily, delicious food, and alvai we should be zeicha, and you should be mispala for the mizbeach, and through that we should be zeicha that all our mishal should be miskabel teva, and it should be a beautiful and happy Chanukah, because usually if you overeat, you end up not being happy. So zeicha you're going to take away from the simcha too, and the Rambam holds that it's Yemei Simcha. Shouldn't forget. Yemei Simcha, and my Chavus Rabbi always says that the three things they took away from us is Shabbos, Mila, and Chodesh, which is Sameach. Never allow Simcha to be taken away from Chanukah.